Welcome in, everybody. Today we are going to be revisiting the first video I posted due to its extreme lack in quality. Now, I am by no means a master at this yet, but I have definitely increased the quality in the video, no random background music, and better mic settings. So we're going to go ahead and redo the beginner's guide to an A Rank Sakura Bakushin. She is most likely going to be many people's first A Rank Uma, as she is one of the easiest to train, and I will be taking you through the methods that I use in order to get her to that A rank. So let's go ahead and start our career path. One thing to keep in mind is that I do have her ranked up quite a bit because I raced with Sakura quite a bit. However, you do not need her at a potential level 5 or a 4-star in order to achieve the A rank with her. Pretty much you can get an A rank with her at base level, so pay no mind to that. The bonuses that you get from ranking those up really are not that significant, and more than anything, the star unlock is just going to be for the cosmetic change. So we're going to go ahead and choose our legacy characters. Now, if you have the ability to use a good guest character and you've been struggling to get her to an A rank, I highly recommend using one. Now, I will leave a link in the description to Umamusume DB website that will allow you to find and follow people with legacy characters and support cards that have your specific needs in mind. So you can go and find, a level 63 bonus for power, 63 bonus for stamina, or however you want. You can customize it. So definitely recommend that. I'm not going to be doing that as I did not need to use a guest for Sakura Bakushin. We're limited to 3 times a day, so I'll use her for one of the more difficult Umas for another A rank guide. So I'm going to go ahead and split these between power and speed, because really power and speed are going to be the two that we're going to be trying to rank up the most. Now, these are A rank characters that I'm going to be using. That being said, that does not necessarily mean that their sparks are going to be better. So even if you have a B, like for instance, special week here, 33 power, 12 speed, that's a good one. You're going to want most of the points going into power, and then if you have a little leftover, definitely have it be leftover into speed, as those are going to be the 2 highest ranking skills that we have throughout this career. So I'm going to go ahead and choose mine. Most people have gotten lucky once or twice with some spark, so I'm going to choose some middle of the road, 42 power, 12 speeds, and you should be able to win even if you have, if it's a 32 in power or 21 even. Sakura Bakushin is just a really easy Uma to train. So let's see, I forget which one I'm looking for, where I think it's Taiki Teo that I'm looking for. Yep, there she is. So I'm going to be choosing some mid to high, well, not high-end characters, but mid-range characters, mainly for the sake of the video. I don't want to have to reshoot it, so keep in mind that these can be lower, and you really shouldn't have any problems. So we'll go ahead, choose next, and we are going to pick our support cards here. So the split is going to be 3-3, 3 in wit, 3 in speed. I'm going to choose my wit cards as Agnes Tachyon, this other girl whom I don't know, and Dwy Scarlet. Who is this? Air. And my speed cards, I'm going to be choosing a Kitasan Black. I'll have the borrowed one, and then a King Halo and a Silent Suzuka. Now, just like the legacy characters, you can pick whatever cards you have available to you. I achieved my first A rank with Sakura Bakushin, and all of my support cards were around level 25, and the only SSR that I had at the time was this Kitasan Black that I was borrowing. Again, just for the sake of the video, don't want to have to reshoot, so I am going to do it this way, and you can definitely achieve it with lower ranked cards. So let's go ahead, start this career. I am going to put the dialogue options on quick skip just because we don't want to read through all of those. We are just here to get an A rank Sakura Bakushin. So right off the bat, we'll get our 84 bonus in power and 24 in speed. We're going to want to train up our support cards as quickly as possible. So this one had 3 on it, so we'll go ahead and train power there. We won't focus, that's a good stack, we got 4 of them on there. We won't focus as much on what skill we're training as much as how many support cards are on that in the early game, mainly because late game we want to be able to get as much rainbow training as possible in. Do a wit training here, get some energy back with the 3 stack. Tell her we have to train tomorrow to get some energy back. So we got a 2 stack on speed, we'll take that. Another 2 stack on speed. We'll take that with the Silent Suzuka skill hint. Alright, now our energy is getting pretty low, so we would either, in this case, we're always going to rest or do wit. If there's a good stack on wit, we'll do wit because it will give us some energy back. Are we going to keep running? Remember, we have to train tomorrow. Will give us some energy back. So we got 3 on speed. It is a 24. I don't really like risking that, so I am going to rest. The last thing we want to do is fail a skill training before our debut. Decision making with Tachyon will give us some points there. So we got 3 on power. Alright, so now we have pretty decent energy. We got 3 on speed. We'll take 3 on speed. Dwai Scarlet and Agnes Tachyon event there. Looks like we got some wit points. Now, none on wit. We do have 3 on power, so that's going to be the one we choose. And we got 1 more training before our debut. We really shouldn't have any issue winning the debut here. Sakura is a very good runner, and we shouldn't really struggle with any of these races. It's a little lower than I'd like for chance there, but 21% isn't awful, and we did want to get 1 last training in before our debut. So now we're going to take this race. View results. Now I did forget to do one thing there. We will do it going into the next race, but if you are following along for that first race, you're going to want to set her as a front runner, and we will keep her as a front runner for the rest of the career path here. Alrighty. So our energy is getting pretty low. Let's go ahead and rest. If we had a good wit stack, we might have done it, but we did not. So in this case, we don't really have any great options. We're going to do recreation. Alright, and I am back. Sorry about that. A delivery guy came to my door. Alright, so for this dialogue option, we're going to do watch your stamina. Get a little stamina or power and guts boost there, it looks like. Alright, training here. We got 2 on speed. Our friendship levels are getting up pretty good. A lot of them are in the green. And once we get those up to rainbow training, we should be able to start stacking these points pretty well. So we do have 3 on guts, but we also have 2 on speed. We want to prioritize speed for the time being, so I'll go ahead and do that. Silent Suzuka's getting pretty close to rainbow training there. I think 2 more and she'll be good to go. So we got 2 on power. We'll do the 2 on power. Get Better Soon is going to give us some energy. It will also put the mood up if you do not have a good mood at that point, and you get the Kitty Sun Black event, definitely choose that top option. 2 on speed, we'll take that. And now those 2 support characters, Shakur and Suzuka, can now do rainbow training. So 16%, It's lower than I like, so we're going to take a rest here. All right. We got some energy back. We got 2 on stamina, 1 on speed. We're going to do the stamina in this case because King Halo has a event here for a skill hint, and we do want to get her up to Rainbow as fast as possible too, because Suzuka's quite a bit ahead of her. The results. Oh, I completely forgot to do the change to front runner. Luckily, that hasn't made really any difference at this point. Dang, delivery guys screwed me up. All right, we'll go next. Pump now 2. That's going to give us some friendship bonus with nice nature there, it looks like. Alright, so we got 2 rainbow training. We're going to do the speed because we're at 0% risk of failure. And King Halo is another speed card. And we do want speed over wit. Wit's kind of a secondary in case we are running low on energy. Get ready for the test. Gave us some energy back. Huge stack on wit, so we're definitely taking that. And now we got Kitasen Black on speed and skill hint for Tachyon, who is going to go over to being able to do rainbow training, so that's going to be best option there. The quicker you get those up to rainbow training, the faster and more likely you are to max out the skill points. So we got Kitasen Black, Tachyon. So it looks like King Halo's the only one that can't actually do rainbow training right now, so we're going to train her. I know we had a training on wit and speed, but now I believe that is all of our support cards that are going to be able to do rainbow training. So if they stack, we'll be able to do some pretty good training. We will do a wit training here, get some energy back. Remember, we have to run tomorrow, get a little bit more energy, and then we're going to have a mood down event, unfortunately. So since we have the mood down and energy loss there, we are going to rest going into the spring stakes. Let's go and ask, gave us some wit bonus. Full energy, so we'll do the Kitasen Black rainbow training. I prefer it when they got double stacks, but no luck. We're going to do... We'll do a wit training here. Again, we do ultimately want wit to get up to a B rank, so I'm going to be training that throughout. And it's okay if we only have 1 rainbow on speed if we choose wit over it, because ultimately it's going to give us the opportunity to get lucky and have a double stack or a triple stack on speed after that turn and have a higher chance of succeeding. So I did change her to front runner there, won first place without any issues. All right, this is our first inspiration besides, well, technically we get the one at the very beginning of the game, but career path-wise, this is 1 out of 2. 79 power and 23 in speed. Now we have nearly full energy, but no good procs here. So let's go ahead and do another wit training, get that energy even up higher, and get our relationship with the reporter higher as well. She can give some end of game bonuses if we max out her friendship gauge. And we got 1 wit. We'll take the wit training. And then we got 1 more training before the race for the owl stakes. Let's do a power and get that up to a C+. So these are pretty decent mid-game stats, and we still believe we should have no problem getting up to this A rank here, so we'll go ahead. Now that we're as a front runner, we really should just be winning every race going forward. First places all the way. You might get unlucky, you know, it ultimately does come down to RNG, but you can definitely tip things in your favor. So if you somehow manage to get a 16th, just try again and you should get first place right after. Alright, so we got 7 turns here. No rainbow. We do have a skill hint for Kita-san Black, and that might be... Can't remember if we already got Professor of Curvature. We may have, so... Skill discounts are still super beneficial, so we will take them where we can get them. Our energy is pretty much max, so we are going to do a speed training there. Beach training. Wit. We want some rainbow stacks. Come on, what are we doing here? 62. This is what we love to see. These, we will take these all day, whenever they want to give it to us. I probably would have risked a pretty large, you know, 13% for 45. Absolutely, I am taking that all day. And, you know, I'm not borrowing a character, so if you end up using your own legacy characters, you know, I'd just say don't shy away from taking some risks if, you know, you're mid to late game or if you have a really good training option, because if you're not using legacy characters, nothing's stopping you from just trying again and you might get luckier. So we'll do the sprinter stakes here. Again, should have no problem. We got 2 big stacks on speed, so we really should be pulling out first for pretty much every... Actually, I think we will pull first for every race going forward from here. $11 turns, and we're pretty high on energy, but it also depends. Maybe you should redo the formulas? I don't really know anything about this Air Shakur. I don't even know how I got her. I don't know if I pulled her, if it was an event card, but whatever. We'll do a wit training there just for the reporter since we didn't have rainbows on anything. Training. We're going to do speed. Train speed again. Now our energy's getting a little low, so we may rest here depending on what the wit's looking like. We'll do a wit training, why not? I think that'll give us enough to have a speed training afterwards. Excellent, and we got a little bit of a bonus there. 51 on speed, love to see it. And we are up to A rank for speed and B in, was it B in power? Yep, so we got A, B, C. So now we want this to be S, A, B. So we do need to rank these up a little bit. Ooh, 42. I hate to rest on a 42, but we are going to do that because we do not want to ruin our chances going forward by getting a debuff. So I want her to be healthy and remarkable. We got a double wit, and we do want that up to a B, so let's take that because we do get a little bit of a speed bonus there. So it doesn't hurt to do it. And we are going to get a single carrot, which doesn't matter because we're max energy. Ooh, come on. So the only really decent option there was to train wit again. I hate training wit on maximum energy because it's pretty much just wasted energy, but it's not a whole lot, so whatever. We'll do 29 training on speed. Hopefully we'll get another speed here. Start off with some strength training, get some power. 31. Naturally, we'll take 31 speed. Getting close to an A+ there. Best part about speed is, while wit does train speed, if you train wit, speed trains power, but it trains power significantly more than wit trains speed. So while they're not directly proportional, it does help out quite a bit. Just another race, should have no issue winning here. And again, we are keeping her as a front runner. We do not need to change her from anything but a front runner. And honestly, the same can go for every single sprinter in the game. I know they have their starting aptitudes, but you can always kind of customize them however you want by choosing legacy characters and support cards that support your playstyle. But front runners for the sprinters it's just so much easier, I found. And maybe it does come down to chance. I don't know all the stats for everything, but my experience personally, front runners are going to have a lot more luck at winning all the races. All right, pretty good energy, 45, love to see it. Reaching the end game here. Training, we're gonna do a wit since we don't have any rainbows. We don't have any rainbows and we're low on any energy at all. We will do wit. We'll do wit again, it looks like. 6 rainbow cards and no rainbow trainings is brutal. One last wit and that should be enough to get us up to a B, since we do get bonus skill points just by finishing the URA final races. 12 per race, I believe it is. Alright, so we have reached our first doubleheader. It is kind of annoying to just have to do 2 races in a row, but it is what it is, and then I believe we get 3 turns, and then it's another doubleheader. But, like I said, from pretty much the midway point, she will have no issue winning any of these races. You could probably put her in the finals right now, and she would wipe the floor with them. Ha 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 ha. Bakushin, Bakushin. Got that song stuck in my head, man. Whoever is in my club has been jukeboxing the Bakushin song just over and over, and it's driving me freaking nuts, man. All right, so we got 31 speed. We'll take that. We need to get this over 1100 for a better chance at a good spark here. All right, sorry, I'm not really sure. 20 in guts. So we have really good stats here, so now we're just going to try to max them as much as possible. Another double header, so we got another race coming right up. Again, shouldn't be a problem. We'll do the race, view results, first place is what it's going to say. And called it. Now, if you're going for an A+ even, this is the point in the game where you kind of just cross your fingers and hope that you get good card stacks. Naturally, you'll have a little bit of a higher stat than we do right now because you'll probably be picking maxed out support cards and maxed out legacy characters. We didn't do that, so no harm, no foul, but this is such an RNG game. You can get, 6 cards stacked on one skill and then go 5 dry. Alright, we'll do another wit, and this should give us maximum energy going into the URA finals. I like to have maximum energy going into the URA finals because then you can do all of your skill training at the end and not have to worry about wasting energy. I want to finish with as little energy as possible because that means I get the most out of all of my turns. All goals achieved. Encourage her to review. That's going to be a big bonus to stamina there. And we got a 31 in speed. We'll take that, and we'll probably end up maxing out speed here by the end. That is a long dialogue, but we got our skill bonus there. Okay, we're going to take this 44 in speed. And we'll do 27 in wit. Quarterfinal coming up. Shouldn't be an issue for us. Alright, and now our friendship with the director is pretty... I think Matt... Was it maxed out? Where is she? Director Chan. ¿Dónde está? Oh well, she's in hiding, whatever. We'll do another wit training. Maybe get that wit up to A. Right. And now we're just kind of finishing out. We definitely have the stats for an A. We will go through the skill purchases at the end here. As you've probably noticed, we haven't bought a single skill, and the reason for that is so that we get the biggest skill discounts by the end. And that means we're going to be able to purchase more skills than we would if we just bought them all at full price throughout the game. Now, there is a maximum discount, so technically you can buy those throughout the game, but I found it just significantly easier, specifically for Sakura Bakushin, to just do them all at the end, because, again, she is the easiest character I found to get an A rank besides maybe Taiki Shuttle or Curren Chan, and, yep, just compile them all at the end. You'll notice if you watch some of the other guides that we do purchase some skills throughout the races, especially for the medium to long distance runners, as they sometimes need a little bit of an energy bonus to get over the mid. Is it the Kiko show and the Tenno show, 3,200 and 3,000 meter races? But regardless, we are finished with this career. These are our stats. We got max speed, 929 power, and 839 wit. Stamina and guts are pretty much irrelevant. And when we go to our skills, we're going to want to purchase them with the biggest aptitude. So front, pace, mile, sprint are all A aptitude. So we're going to want to get skills that have front, sprint, mile, or pace in them. So we can see here, pace, front, front, sprint, sprint. We'll skip this gold. Sprint, sprint. And I wanted to save 270 because Professor of Curvature is a fantastic skill, so we're going to be purchasing that. And if you got lucky enough to have higher skill points, or let's say you decided to do a race throughout this career path and you modified it in your own way, you may have some more skill points, you may have some less, but you want to end up purchasing as many skills as possible and ending your career with the lowest amount of skill points left over. That way nothing goes to waste. So these are the skills we ended up with. And we got her special skill up to level 3. So now let's go ahead and hit complete, and we will have achieved our A rank here without any issue whatsoever. We actually even got close to an A+ during this round. So there you have it. That is going to be my beginner's guide to A rank Umas, with starring Sakura Bakushin, I suppose. Again, the easiest A rank to get. A lot of them are actually pretty easy as long as you build your legacies and support cards right. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have a Uma that you'd like to see train next up to A rank, feel free to post that as well. I have many other A rank guides on my channel, and there will be a link to the playlist on screen now. So yeah, everybody, you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.